One, and we're live. Hi, everyone. I'm here with David. David and me, we are part of the event organizer team for Sealand Open 24. And I'm going to TO. And David, you're going to play at the event, but
Yeah.
you're also one of the pack riders for the
Yes.
event.
Yeah.
Um, so maybe it should be you that actually talks us through the pack because a lot of it was your brainchild.
Absolutely. So the idea for this type of campaign type tournament was actually just because I thought it sounded fun.
Yeah.
I like the idea of escalation. And while some people have other ideas about what an escalation might be than I do, this is the format that came out of our
Mm.
discussions together
Yeah.
as being something that could be escalation and still be fun in a tournament and maybe even work as a tournament organization or as tournament play. So
So
the
for
idea is
we have 750 to start with
exactly four games
for
of
four
doing that.
games on Saturday. So
Yes,
one day, four games. And the games are a little bit quicker because, of course, lower points. That makes sense.
yes,
But people are still going to be fairly knackered at the end of four games, I imagine.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I mean the idea is that 750 points is going to be quicker games, but when we get to look at the lists in just
Mm.
a couple of minutes, many people have the same amount of dice as they do in the 1,000 point game. So maybe 2 hours is going to be really pressed for time. I don't know.
Maybe we shall see. I mean, I'm going to be as strict as I normally am, like calling
Oh,
out time,
of
and
course.
then that's it, and game over. So we shall see if people can finish in the time. And then on day two, you actually had to expand your previous 750 list.
Yes. To 1250, and the idea behind that is the 750 point list is engaged and has called for reinforcements.
Yep.
So the extra 500 points that reinforces has to be new stuff. You cannot
Yep.
upgrade the 750 points because they are engaged already.
Yep.
And the 500 extra then kind of joins that
Mm.
in the fray.
Yeah.
And we will play two games of that on day
Yep.
two.
So with a lot of extra time, which is nice. I think a lot of people will need that, especially because I looked over the lists and there are some lists, including yours, I have to say, that have a lot of order dice. So
Yes.
yeah, at 1250 you can really put a lot of stuff in there. Now it's double platoon, but you only have one tank selection. Why is
Yes.
that?
I wanted to focus more on the skirmishing aspects, the infantry aspects, the teams,
Mm.
than pushing all the tanks. Tanks
Yep.
are fun. Tanks are great. I wanted to try something else, and I also know in a couple of months, 3 months time, we will have a tank tournament in Jutland coming up.
Yep.
So I wanted. I didn't know that when I wrote this pack, obviously, but the idea is that we focus much more on infantry and trying to. If you want a tank, you can now maybe even afford a bigger one.
Because you have the points at least on
Yeah.
day two.
Yes.
At least on
Exactly.
day two. But on day one, I think a lot of people are going to struggle to find points for that, like extra heavy tank. And if you buy it
Yeah.
on day one, you're gonna have to stick with it
Yeah.
because you can't change it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's also to get people to try and think differently
Mm.
in terms of the standardized 1,000 point list
Mm.
that we have. I mean, within a certain aspect, have been seeing for the past couple of years.
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
It doesn't vary or deviate much from the kind of mold that's been created.
Mm.
It's minor adjustments, but now you actually have to think a lot outside the box.
You
And the
do.
feedback that we've gotten from a lot of people is this is a really nice exercise,
Yes.
and they have been challenged in trying to build lists,
Mm.
and I like that. That sounds
Yep.
like fun. It was also challenging for me to figure out the final list that I wanted to submit to you guys.
Yep. And just to let everyone know, while the pack is David's brainchild and he is part of the organizer team, he has not had access to lists or anything. I got all that, and I had a couple of guys come in from outside and just do the list checking with me. So the lists are all out now, and the link will be in the description for this Google Drive, where you can see all of what we're going to talk about. But we're going to start talking about lists now.
Yes, there's a little bit more to the how to build a list
Oh
than
yeah,
just the one tank choice. There's also, of all the vehicles you take, only one of them can be 8+.
yes,
So if you choose a tank that has 8 or more, you cannot have an armored car that has 8 or more. You cannot have a transport that's 8 or more. But if you choose a 7+ tank, you can have an armored car that's 8 or more, or a transport that's 8 or more.
yep, yep. So you can still spam your brain carriers if you really wanted to, but
Absolutely.
but
You can also take some of the more fragile armored cars as well.
yep,
And on top of
but
that,
but no
you
Puma with your Panzer III.
no, what's the British one that you love?
Oh, the Staghound.
The
Yes,
Staghound. No
I
Staghound
felt
with your
very
Geiger tank.
personally persecuted when we made that rule. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
And on top of that, on the first day, the 750 points, we disallowed any free units for
yeah.
all nations.
And I think that's a lesson for everyone to follow. I think once you go below 1,000 points, I think just because proportionally the free units are so much extra,
Mm.
so it really skews the game. Right. I am going to take us, and we're going to see some of the lists now. So I'm going to share my screen just a sec, and
Let's do.
we're not going to see the one that you handed in,
That's fair.
because I already did a video on that.
Exciting.
Um, yes, a little bit. No, it's David has a really interesting FFSSF. We call
I
it
think
for
that's
fuck's
one
sakes.
S
Yeah,
or
no,
F too much.
potentially lists where the skirmishing aspect of having just a lot of small units really becomes important. But I've already made a video on that, so we're not going to go through that. We're going to start with Benny. Now, Benny is one of the list checkers. He's also one of our competitive gamers here. So the format is I'm going to read the list, and you can talk crap about it, David.
Excellent.
Right. It's a dual platoon, 750 points, 18 order dice, and 715. Inexperienced
That
lieutenant.
sounds like Benny. Yeah.
It's a very Benny list. 18. He's got a second lieutenant, inexperienced, 2 full-strength Strafbat Shirkers, 10 riflemen, inexperienced medium mortar, regular CIS 3 gun. That's the one that can shoot both as a anti-tank gun and as a howitzer. A jeep with MMG, and the second platoon is another lieutenant. 2 more full-strength Strafbats. One of them has one guy that's unarmed, I guess, because it's got 9 rifles and 10 rifles in the other one. Inexperienced Commissar, regular artillery observer. He's actually bought an artillery observer here. Inexperienced medium mortar, 3 dog mines, inexperienced light howitzer, gas jeep, Tokarev, and that's it for 750. That is insane, the amount of bodies, and yeah. What do we think?
Absolutely insane. I think it's a very typical Benny list, and I hope to beat him
Yes.
because those draft bad shirkers will get pinned out in
Yep.
no time by a list
Yes.
like mine.
Yeah. Your
The
list
one
is
thing
really
that is
built
I'm
to
I'm
kill this, isn't it?
oh, absolutely. The one thing I'm truly afraid of is the regular Ford artillery observer,
Mm,
because that is something that I will have a hard time trying to separate
yeah.
myself from getting absolutely
Because
bombed out by.
yeah, with all your small units, you're going to
Mm.
get bombed, and you can't. There's not enough board to avoid
No,
them.
absolutely not.
Um. Yeah. Now.
Um, I
Yep.
see his idea. There's a lot of indirect fire or direct
Mm,
HE.
mm,
He has a lot of ball control in his 3 dog mines with whatever tank that has been chosen,
yep.
or transports any
Well,
enemy.
he's already taken his tank because the Tokarev is his tank choice.
Yeah. No, but the ball control he gets from
Mm,
the dog
yeah.
mines
Yes. True.
is really great,
And he really
because he
likes
can
ball
lock down,
control.
basically
Yeah.
can lock down both flanks and the middle with a
Yep.
team each.
Yep. And then start shooting indirectly with his medium mortars and
Yeah,
howitzer. And I mean, there's just so much control in this list.
yeah.
If you
Was
start
there a
losing
sniper
units,
anywhere?
though, no, there is no sniper.
I'm missing a sniper because he has what? How 2 5 teams? He has
He's got
two mortar
1, 2,
teams.
3, 4, 5,
No, but
6.
like that can be one-shotted out by a sniper, right? Oh, he has the
Yeah.
2 NX medium
Yep.
mortars.
Yep. That's true. And he's got his 2 lieutenants, so he's got 4 units,
Yeah,
including the artillery observer and
5. Yeah,
the commissar. 6 units that can be sniped. Yes.
yeah.
So if he
I'm a
goes up
little bit
against multiple
missing that.
snipers, he's
Yeah,
going to struggle a little bit, maybe.
yeah, yeah.
Now, his upgrade is to 27 order dice.
Jesus.
So yeah, that's a lot of order dice.
So he adds
27.
9 dice.
Yeah, it's 9 dice.
Okay.
2 5-man mounted recon with flamethrower and double SMGs. Another artillery observer, another one.
Mm,
That's 2 in 250. I think this is rather clever because at 1250 the enemy is going to struggle even more to spread out.
absolutely.
The free rifle squad,
Mm-hmm.
2 regular AT teams with Panzerfausts, a regular anti-tank AT rifle.
So they get to
And
forward deploy as the first. Yeah.
no, they don't. They are regular. They are standard. Oh, yes, they are. Sorry, tank
They're forward
hunters.
deploy. So he actually
Yes,
has 4
yes.
forward deploying units all of
He's
a
got
sudden.
4 forward deploying units all of a
Yeah.
sudden. That's right. And double universal carriers for the
Yeah.
mounted recon.
I think this is a great add-on.
It
It
really is.
provides a lot of punch power that I think the
Yes.
previous lists lacks.
Yeah,
The
750
initial
it has got.
750
Yeah.
it's more lockdown, stay on defense, and this is all of a sudden he has
Yep.
2 flamer teams
And he
that
can
just
really
bumbles
push
up
them
it.
up. Yeah.
And the 2 regular anti-tank hunters that forward deploys with the Panzerfausts.
There's also
Yeah.
one thing I think is really clever about. I read the pack and saw that many of the missions on day 1 would require mobility and like board control. He has a lot of
Mm,
board control.
mm,
On day 2, there are 2 missions that both of them have objectives.
mm.
So he can like push those 2 brain
Yeah.
carriers towards the central objective and try to stay on it from the start. I think it's really clever, and I think he's really read the missions for this pack here.
I agree.
So that is Benny's. Then we have Bjarke. Now, normally everyone thought so. Bjarke normally brings his Soviets, and he doesn't this time. It is 20 order dice Japanese. Now,
Oh,
it's
this is
both.
a 250 list.
Yes, but I think it's both lists in one. He
Okay.
only sent in one list, so we're going to have to try and separate out what is what. So he brings a second lieutenant regular, double bamboo spear fighters, full strength,
Yep.
Kempetai,
Mm-hmm.
and an SNLF squad. That's one of the few units that can take submachine guns, double submachine guns here, which I think is rather nice on veterans. So it's an 8-man fanatic veteran with a couple of tough fighters in it. It's nice.
Mm.
And then an infantry squad with 8-man again, regular, flamethrower team, anti-tank rifles, suicider, and twin AA gun and a Horo and a Kurgani. I think that this is his 750 list.
Okay.
And I think he adds on for day 2 a second platoon. I think
Okay.
that's how we should read this.
How many dice are in the first platoon?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
That's a fair bit for 750. Makes a lot of
Yeah,
sense.
yeah. It's right where I would have expected people to be, between 10 and 12. I think that was my expectation, but a lot of people have gone above this.
Did he have a transport as well?
He has a Kurgani.
Yeah. So that's for his
For the
flamer team.
flamethrower. Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is a very good list, honestly. It has a lot of potential to just completely ramrod the enemy by smashing them face first in round. I guess end of round 2,
3.
beginning of round
Yeah.
3, he's run everybody down.
Yeah.
I am missing a little bit more indirect fire. He has the Horo, but that's not gonna do indirect fire. It has a minimum range of what, 30 or something.
Yeah.
36 inches minimum range.
36 inches. So it's going to stand in the corner and shoot the other corner.
Exactly. I'm lagging a little bit of indirect fire here.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Would you have exchanged the twin autocannon for a mortar?
I think I would, but that's just
Hmm.
because I really love the idea of the what's it called, the 320 millimeter, uh, completely insane mortar that you can
The
get in the
spigot
artillery
mortar,
slot. The
yeah,
spigot mortar, exactly.
that is lovely. Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think I would have,
Mm,
just because he has the horo to chase anything down
yeah. Yeah.
in terms of direct fire.
Mm,
I mean, autocannons are always nice, but having that indirect possibility to try and dig someone out is also needed sometimes,
yeah.
and
I
he
think this
kind of lacks that.
autocannon here is a little redundant somehow. For me, it
It's
feels like he's really trying to lock down one line of
Yeah,
fire.
but the problem with I think with this specific choice
Mm,
is he has 30 bamboo fighters that's going to want to cross the field of fire,
yeah. He's going to
and it's
go
going to
in
be
front
hard
of
for him to
himself.
use it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
He's
he
going
also
to.
has
Yeah.
16 soldiers who wants to do the same, basically. Maybe the regulars want to skirmish, and if they want to skirmish, which is fair, I think the submachine gun is redundant on
Yeah.
the infantry squad, regular infantry squad.
I don't think he wants to skirmish. I think he wants to
Yeah,
find something weak to beat up in close combat.
probably.
Now he upgrades it with another second lieutenant.
Yeah,
Then he has one more infantry squad of 8 men with rifle, a
yeah,
militia squad, inexperienced, so that's like a backline holder of some sort, and an engineer squad. I really like that he has a full spread of different units here. He
yeah,
can
yeah,
do lots of different stuff here. Then comes the medium mortar that we lacked before.
yeah.
Another flamethrower, so that's the third flamethrower. This is more or less a Japanese barbecue list.
Yep.
Another suicider, so he's got double suicider, so he can double up towards whatever tank the enemy brings, and a howitzer medium with a spotter.
Is that the last?
That is
No
the last.
transport.
No transport. So
So he
he lacks a transport for his engineer unit,
and
which
for his second flamer team.
and for his second flamer. That sucks. But I think the second flamer could actually go in the Kuragani because it
Oh
has
yeah, that's transport for,
four
yeah, yeah.
man
But that's a
capacity.
lot of eggs in one basket,
It is.
in a
It
very
is
soft basket.
very soft. That'll quite easily die. But I mean, the only thing I think I would change here is I think I would drop the twin AA gun, buy a medium mortar, and see if I could find the points for a truck.
Well, he can't drop the AA gun because the upgrade doesn't allow him to drop it. I don't
Mm.
understand the field gun.
No,
It's a medium. I mean, he already has a horo.
true.
Because the medium howitzer also has a minimum range if you want to shoot indirectly
Mm.
of 30 inches. So
Yeah,
that's also a shooting straight at stuff.
it is. Yeah.
And 95 points, he could have gotten a spigot motor instead, and a truck transport for his.
Yes. Yes. A spigot motor and a truck. That for me, because then he would have his engineers in the truck as well, and he could still fire a lot of indirect shots. And
Yeah,
yeah, I think that would have upgraded a bit. But I know that he is building this army, so he may not have all the models yet. That might also have been
that is of course something
one
we
of the
all have to adhere
constraints.
to. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Then we have Frederick, and this is his 700. Now Frederick is coming over from Sweden. He's
Oh, how
bringing 12
nice.
order dice, 749 Soviets, inexperienced lieutenant, assault engineers with flamethrower and Faust, and a couple of submachine guns in that, mounted recon, flamethrower, submachine gun, veteran squad with 7 rifles and a single Faust, tough fighters. Okay, pushing. And a Strafbat with a lot of unarmed dudes.
Oh God.
Yeah. Sniper team, double dog mines, inexperienced, light howitzer, and a BA-10, and then double Bren carrier. Nice. I like this because he has not yet taken his 8 plus tank choice. He can do that in
That is
his
true.
1250 list.
Yeah, yeah, and he still has the light AT gun
He
on the
does,
BA-10. Yeah,
yes, and he can split fire with all of these because they've all got LMGs that he can split off.
Yeah.
So he's got 3 mini tanks, if that
Yeah.
makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah. 3-minute daggers.
Yeah.
If you're going to take the veteran engineers or assault
Mm.
engineers, how many does he have though? He has the 5 because they're going in the
Yes, the
brand.
5. Yeah. Yeah, they're going in Bren.
Yeah.
Would you have given them body armor?
I kind of would have.
Mm.
Because they are if in a brand they are such an I mean it's basically unkillable unless you
Yeah. It's a little bit
have a
like Terminators in 40K. They're
yeah,
very,
yeah.
very heavily armored. Yeah.
I like that he gave them a Faust because
Mm.
that makes them double dangerous for tanks.
Yeah.
I disagree with that many submachine guns.
You think it's too much?
Yeah,
I kind of like it, but I would like it better if he had body armor.
yeah.
Yeah.
Body armor is a lot more expensive, obviously, than 3 submachine
Yes,
guns.
it is. It is.
But it's 3 points that if people start dying, which they are more likely to do since they don't have body armor,
Yeah.
it's 3 points that you're removing when one of those guys die.
Yeah. True.
Because you're not taking the guy with the rifle because he's the loader for the flamer.
Yeah. Yeah. So he has no ablative wounds here. As soon as he takes casualties, it's going to hurt. That is
Yep.
true. Yeah. Nice spotted. Right. Let's see how he upgrades that to 1250, because this is his upgrade. So we have the same unit as before, veteran, Strafbat. Then
Tank
he
riders, that's new.
takes a tank rider unit with body armor. This one is with.
Veteran and submachine guns for all of them. Jesus Christ.
Oh, Jesus, they are tough.
What are
Shit.
they riding on?
Yes. Let's see. Medium mortar, inexperienced sniper team, flamethrower team, dogmine, 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 anti-tank rifle. That's also new. Light howitzer. That's also new. And a Lee.
Yes.
Yes. That is 4 armored vehicles. This is what I call a faux tank or soda tank list.
Mm.
Damn, that's hard. Look at that Lee.
It is a very, very nice tank.
It is. I'm so looking forward to getting one. Yeah. What do we
I mean,
think?
I like his upgrade, like with the teams on the tank. I
Mm,
I like the idea of tank riders. I think
mm.
it's really cool. The way it works in bolt action, I
Maybe
think it's
not
too
that cool.
vulnerable. No, the fact that I can have a rifle team on the other end of the map on
Mm,
ambush and just shoot at him as soon as they get in my field of fire,
yeah,
and they have to disembark these 6 inches.
yeah, that
I
sucks.
think makes them really hard to use. I don't even have to be able to reach them with my shots. Just the fact that I declare
Yeah,
that they
they
get
have to
shot
get
on, they have
off.
to jump
Yeah,
off.
yeah, that's not fun.
No.
Then we have Jan Petersen, the one and only, and he has been painting like a maniac. He's been painting
Yes.
like 2 armies this year alone, I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is.
Um, so Italians and now Finns as well. And he's bringing a Finnish platoon here, 17 order dice. Um, Something is off with the points count here. I can't remember why that is. He wrote to me about it.
Okay.
Um,
So
then
this
we
is
have
is this 750 also included in this one?
this is 750
It
included.
says
Yeah,
in the name
MMGs.
MMG on trucks.
Yeah, that's why. So he has 2 MMGs. That means 30 points extra. That's
Yeah.
1250. Right. So, and I can't remember how he set it up, but let's just go through it. Regular, Lieutenant, Sissy Recon, Caucapachos. Yeah. I think they're overcosted, but they're so cool. Sissy Recon again. 7-man units. I wouldn't do that.
No, you need the 8, right?
Yeah, or 6. You need to be
Yeah.
even numbers with Finns. Sniper team, always take those. Anti-tank rifle team, of course you take one of those. Medium mortar with a spotter, yep. Medium howitzer with a gun shield. BA-10, that, by the way, as soon as he loses 2 guys on this, he gets upgraded to veteran, which is so cool.
What? That
Yeah,
also goes for artillery?
It's everything in Finland.
Jesus.
So BA10, that unreliable. It really
Yeah, but
sucks.
it's what they can get.
It's what they can get. And a truck. I think that's the 750. I think he has a
Okay.
lot of power in this little
Yeah,
packet
and
here. But
this is an
1,
insane.
2,
How many dice does that
3,
equal? 9,
4, 5,
10,
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
10.
So
I think
still
that this
10,
is a
which is good.
really strong list. I think the fact that he has 2 sissy squads
Mm,
in 750 is so strong. The
yeah, it is.
Calcobacho, for me, it seems more like a meme.
Yeah,
If he catches someone off guard who
yeah.
doesn't really know what it is that they can do,
Mm,
he can wreak havoc.
yes, of course.
But the experienced players who have played against this before and knows to guard their flank or their back line.
Yeah, or
This
just
is
sacrifice this one unit and says, okay, you take it, whatever. I'll
yeah,
push against the rest. Yeah,
and it's only 5 men.
it's only 5 men. True. Let's see. I'm not sure about the truck as well. What would you
I
put
that
in the
that that
truck?
could actually be for his Calcobacho. So instead of using them as a assault through the back line, it's just 5 guys with submachine guns that gets deployed in your face.
Hmm. True. Otherwise, I think he's just going to use it to sit in his back line like a machine gun nest and just
Yeah,
shoot.
yeah,
Yeah.
with his lieutenant inside to keep it
Yeah.
alive. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Then he brings his upgrades are a second lieutenant more, double continuation war squads,
I like that.
again 7-man units. No, Yan,
Yeah,
no.
but Yen
Um,
likes to do things off meta just to piss everybody off,
yeah, he
especially people
does. He
like me.
does. I love him for it. Double Faust, I like that. So one in each unit here. The submachine gun, I don't understand, but
No,
whatever.
yeah,
Light mortar, I would have taken a medium mortar inexperienced if I could. I don't think you can as a Finn though. Um, Another
okay.
BA10. Nice. A BT5 Kirsty light tank. Turret
I
mounted
don't
light
think I've
anti-tank gun.
ever seen
Never seen one of those. Not
that in
once.
bolt action before
Not
in any
once.
game. It's
Unreliable
one
A
of my
plus.
favorite Soviet light tanks in the computer game. Where what's it called? Oh, I forget the name of it right now. It's quite fun tank
Yeah.
to drive around,
Okay.
but
And another truck. Yeah.
yeah,
17 order dice at 1250.
I think it's a strong list,
I think so too.
and I
It's got
think it's
3 tank-ish vehicles. I
yeah,
really like that.
and I honestly would have liked to see one more Sissy squad
Yeah.
because it is so strong,
Yeah. I think I
and
would
it
have just
is what
cut out the Calcapachos and bought
yeah.
another sissy for that.
I think that's more value, especially because they wreck the assault armies totally and utterly.
Yeah.
It's one of the things that Japanese players and actually Gurkha players have a really hard time against.
Yes. Because you
Veterans on ambush,
they advance, they're on ambush, they sit in cover,
and they
and you have
hit on one
+1 to
better.
hit. I mean, it's just really difficult to charge that.
Yeah,
You're really going to have to pin it down in order to do anything. I like this list as well. Another strong list here. We are only
I
seeing strong lists. Are you are you afraid of the competition going into this?
always
Yeah.
afraid of competition.
Then we have Jonathan,
I hope
and
I get to play Jonathan. I want to play
yeah,
Jonathan.
yeah, everyone wants to play Jonathan. He's
Yes,
just the nicest guy ever.
yes, exactly.
20 organized Germans, and he's making Germany great again. It's great. I love it. I love Jonathan. Hi, Jonathan. Um, I think again we're gonna have to try and figure out where the list ends and the new one begins because it's just one list. He's
Hmm.
bringing a Waffen SS second lieutenant, so paying the lowest tax he can, 30 points. Waffen SS unit here with a light machine gun because he wants to piss me off, and a Panzerfaust. So
Why?
backline
Why? Why?
holders
Why? Why? Why, Jonathan?
because they're veterans. I mean, I don't know. Ah, Yeah. Another unit, exactly the same. Brandenburgers, I really like the inclusion of that. 5 submachine guns, double Fausts, very dangerous, and he controls the board with that. And double Strafbat with light machine guns.
But they're regulars as well,
They are regulars, yes.
so they
So
can actually hit with their light machine
they
guns.
can actually hit. One of them also has a Faust, a light machine gun team, so he has a theme here of light machine guns, but this one is inexperienced.
It's also only 20 points
Yes, it's
for
true.
5 shots. That's
Yes,
insane.
that is really really cheap. Medium mortar inexperienced. Pack 36 with steel granaten. So
I
that
don't think I
is
know what that means.
I think it's like an upgrade. You hit a little bit harder, or don't go down over long range, or something like that.
Okay.
But it's just an anti-tank gun. It's a light anti-tank gun that
Yeah.
has a little upgrade. So we would not normally see this again. Jonathan proving that he is at heart a painter and a hobbyist, and he happened to be very very good player as well. Horstron Limber, veteran. Don't know why.
If you have the points, I suppose.
Yeah, a Polizei tank and a heavy field car. I think that's his 750. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, that's his 750.
That's a really, really strong. I think that's a really strong 750 list. I know it's a meme list, yes, but if you take away the meme aspect, it's still quite a strong list. There's a lot of Daka going down range.
There's
The
a lot of
Volkswagen
shots
has
going
20
down
shots.
range here. Yeah,
Each
that is a
each
lot.
of his infantry squads have
Mhm.
MMGs in them or LMGs in them,
Yep,
and because they're the fucking Germans,
yep,
they get 5 shots.
yep. So this is sort of a build that I've started to call camping Germans, and I've taken that
Well, that makes
expression
sense.
from the South Africans who had that, where you sit back and you shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot, and you hope to win that way.
No, but I like it because this feels like the German version of a skirmish, right?
Yep, yep. And you're not
And
actually skirmishing; you're just sitting down and just shooting
yeah,
everything that moves. Yeah,
and I mean, and his Brandenburgers will be happy to go up and smash your face in.
yeah. And
What
I
is he
think
using
they'll
the heavy
go
field
in.
castle?
That's for the
Okay, yeah,
Brandenburgers.
that's what the Brandenburgers
I think he
probably.
may
Yeah.
even outflank because it's veteran.
Mm,
They've got double Faust, so they'll come in, just
yeah,
kill your
yeah.
tank or something. Now the upgrades. He takes another platoon here. Waffen SS lieutenant with double men, and then a Waffen SS unit with 6 shot machine guns. Wow, and a Faust, and another one, a double regular push units here.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that's a lot of shots. Light howitzer, horse-drawn limber, veteran again. Motorcycle with machine gun.
Nice.
Nice, very nice. An inexperienced truck with pintle-mounted MMG and an STKF set 251/1, which is just a transport with
That's for his
pintle-mounted machine gun.
double submachine gun guys. Yeah,
Yep, that is. So it's a Hanomag.
yeah,
Oh, there's a lot of theme in this list for me,
yeah.
and at the same time, it's not actually that bad.
I think it's dangerous.
Yeah,
He has managed to spend his points sensibly
yeah,
to accommodate that he wants the light machine guns. I think the weakness of this is every infantry team or infantry squad is few numbers of men.
yeah.
They will start taking hits and
Mm,
they will just basically die at some
yeah,
point.
yeah,
So if he doesn't manage to kill what he's shooting at or pin them to smithereens by shooting double pinning from 2 different squads,
mm,
they are in danger of just getting simply killed because
yeah.
there's so few guys in the squad.
True.
Um,
Yeah.
I would have liked to see. I think one of the things that when I've been playing against Germans, one of the things that scares me is actually his assault rifles.
Yes. but no
instead
assault
of the
rifles
submachine
here.
guns, because that 18-inch double shot that usually hurts.
Yeah, it does. But it's also more expensive, right?
That's true. It's 5 instead of 3.
And he might be thinking here that, well, I can always throw them up. I have the heavy field car, I have the truck, I
Yeah,
have the Hanomag. So he has a lot of transport to push up his submachine guns,
or flank with everything.
or flank with everything. True. That might also be a thing. Yeah. There is a lot of interesting or weird choices where something is veteran I wouldn't expect to be, and something is inexperienced I would have expected to be regular here.
Yeah, yeah.
So very, very
I, I,
interesting,
I wouldn't discount this list at all because
and
it can
especially
just
not the
put
player.
so many shots downrange.
Yeah, and 20 order dice is also fairly
Yeah.
good. It's above average for order dice count here.
Before we move on, there's one last point I want to make. I think he has a lot of Fausts and he has the bullet side tank, but it still feels light on an anti-tank.
Well, he has the pack as well,
It's still
but
only a light AT gun.
yeah, and it's fixed, and yeah, so it does feel a little on the ranged AT maybe. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Moving on.
Moving on. This is the final list for this video, and it's Kent. So Kent is also a highly competitive player. He's yet to win tournaments, but he is trying, and he did really well at the Danish Nationals. He's bringing 12 order dice in his 750 list here. He's bringing Soviets. Inexperienced lieutenant, double assault engineers with submachine guns, flamethrower Fausts. So that's a lot of power in that little packet there.
Mm-hmm.
Commissar, scout squad with submachine guns, veteran. 2 Strafbats with unarmed shirkers. Medium mortar team, inexperienced, dog mine, Stuart light tank, and double Komsomolette.
I
Yeah.
don't understand the Komsomolets.
Oh, I do. I really do.
What's the difference between that and a brain carrier? Isn't a brain carrier just an opportunity to actually get
Yep.
4 extra shots?
Yeah. True. So in that respect, yeah, but you can take 1 extra dude.
Okay, it has
Which,
transport 6. Does it do that then?
yeah, well, maybe he has assault engineers, 6-man squads.
It is
So
6-man squads. Yeah, okay.
so
So he
he
does take that
actually,
extra. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, he gets 1 extra man in his assault engineers, making them a little bit more survivable at the price of not getting that extra LMG.
Yeah.
That's the trade-off.
Yeah. Again, that many SMGs. The way you usually deploy an engineer squad is
Mm,
to fire your flamethrower
yeah.
in the hopes of hitting with your flamethrower.
Yes.
And thus the SMG shots become redundant because you have hopefully barbecued whatever is in front of you.
I think they are for the turn after, where
But then
you
there's
have
nothing in front of
to,
you. I
yeah,
mean, in theory.
potentially not. Yeah, that's true. But I think that's why people take them. I think they are thinking, well, this unit, I'm going to try to make them survive after they've deployed the flamethrower. So what do I need at that point? Well, I'm already up in my enemy's close range, so I'll need something to shoot, submachine guns. I think that's the reason why people do this. Yeah.
It doesn't work in my opinion. I think it's a waste of points basically,
Okay.
and that's the experience I've had with them. I
And
mean,
he
I've
really
done it
doesn't.
and moved away from it.
Yeah.
And he does. So that's basically 18 points he could spend on something else.
And he
No,
doesn't
it's
have
more.
ablative wounds
It's
again,
24 points he could use on something else.
like your point before. He doesn't have something that in this unit he can take off as casualties.
No,
Which again, yeah, that may
but
be a
I
problem.
I love the double Faust. That
Yeah.
is, it makes them so dangerous for anything with an armor.
Yep. Because you're
The one
very,
Faust is
very
like
likely to hit.
movement,
Yeah.
maybe long range.
Yeah.
You're probably gonna miss one, but the 2 shots or split
Yeah.
fire possibility is
You're
so
very,
dangerous.
very likely to hit. And
Yeah.
yeah. Right. Let's see how he upgrades that. He does it here with 21 order dice. And I think
That's high.
the extra 4 is because his horse-drawn limber is a mule.
Yep, makes sense.
So inexperienced lieutenant, the double assault engineers, the commissar, everything we saw before here, strafe bat, dog mine, steward light tank, double comes with that. Right, second platoon, junior lieutenant,
With an
veteran
extra.
yeah, with an extra man. Veteran squad with 5 men, all submachine guns, single Faust. And then a storm group of 7 men with submachine guns.
What
This
does
is,
arms with the teeth do?
well, that means that you can run through terrain and fight first.
Okay, that's insane.
Yep. So no defensive obstacles. You fight first, which is really cool on tough fighter veterans. I mean, they're I wouldn't say that they're as good as Gurkhas, but they are very, very good assaulters.
Yeah.
Um,
And more expensive though.
and a little bit more expensive as well. Yep, true. Um, free rifle squad, light mortar. That sucks.
Yeah.
Dog mine, another dog mine. Is that needed? He has
He had
so much anti-tank.
2 in the other one. No, he only
Oh,
had 1 in the other
he
one.
only had 1. Yeah,
So he gets
maybe.
1 more. That kind of makes sense, I think.
Okay. Assist 3 regular. Horse-drawn limber, which is a mule, and a BA-10. Lots of BA-10s in these lists.
There really are. You're right. Yeah.
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 Yeah,
I like it. It's a
me as
fun little
well.
car
Mm,
with the 8 shots and the light LT and the Reggae.
yep.
So if you scroll up a little bit, there we go. I would have loved to see the veteran squad just be another scout squad.
Yeah. Yeah. That would have been very strong because he would have dominated the central table
Yeah,
very early on, I think. Yeah.
I think that would make more sense.
Yeah. Potentially.
Um,
Maybe I can't. Can you remember the missions? We have timely objectives. You can't forward deploy there. So at least one of the missions you can't forward deploy in, and then you have Heartbreak Ridge, where you also can't forward. No, it makes sense. I'm sorry, it makes sense that he doesn't take a scout squad because he can't forward deploy anyway.
that's true.
Yep.
Yeah, and then he
So
gets the option of a Faust. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
yeah, yeah, right. Anywho, that was
I'm a little bit lacking something with armor. He has the
he has a BA-10 and he has a
he
Stewart
has the
light tank.
Steward. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He's Russian. He has 250 points. I want to see big armor.
You're not getting it. Not in
No.
this list. No, Kent knows his stuff. He of course takes the Steward because he can. Because it's better. Just let's face it, it's better, right?
No.
No. Anywho, that was it for us today. We may be back, do more of the lists, but for this video, that was it. I hope you enjoyed it. And David, thank you so much for coming
Thank you,
and
Bo.
talking to us.
Of course.
Cheers, everyone.